It's Madden NFL 23.
And the question is, are you ready for some football? It's the Colts and the Broncos on Thursday night.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight we start Week 5 with a primetime matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Denver Broncos. Brandon Garden alongside Charles Davis. And CD, our game here featuring two quarterbacks who have been at it a long time in this league. Matt Ryan of the Colts, Russell Wilson of the Broncos.
And I absolutely love matchups like this. We have two guys with such enormous respect for each other and are respected around the league as well. They squared off a number of times in their careers, and they are two guys that know how to run an offense and get the absolute best out of their teammates.
Training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Montrell Washington on the return from his end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Now here's Russell Wilson, 11th season in the league. First, of course, with Denver, after a high-profile trade this offseason that saw him dealt from Seattle.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They run with a veteran of 8 years now. It's Melvin Gordon. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play, second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure you're back. You spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. And he will have the Broncos first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. The Broncos had 2-2 through the first 4 weeks of the season. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now Gordon on first down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Wilson. His throw here is going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He'll get that complete to Albert O. So no gain on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
Yeah, the ball is knocked out, and the Colts pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And without a doubt, not the way they pictured that opening drive unfolding.
No, they were making progress. They weren't exactly in high gear, but they were making a few yards along the way. And now that they've coughed it up, they got to go back to the sidelines and regroup a little bit.
Out onto the field comes the Colts offense for their first series. And at quarterback, A new name this year to the franchise, of course, but certainly not new to the league. A 15-year vet, former league MVP, Matt Ryan.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? It's not who the freshest guys coming out of the last game and playing on Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And that's off the left upright, but it caroms right in. How about that? The kick is good. And the Colts hit the scoreboard first. It's 3-0. So put 3 on the board. A little bit of a hook on the driver that time. Looked a little bit like you, Charles, over on the 8th at Windermere.
You know me too well, partner, except that he got his to hit a tree and kick back into the fairway.
After the made field goal, here's McLaughlin back out there to kick it away. Washington now brings this out. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Holding, receiving team.
So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Finding Sutton on the out route who makes the catch. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. That's caught left side by Judy. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there, and it'll give the Broncos a first down.
That was big right there because on 3rd down, they needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. Throw to the right here to Gordon. After all that, they only wind up with a yard. It's 2nd down. They'll run it up the middle now. Gordon. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On 3rd down, Wilson. This goes to the tight end, Eric Saubert. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the first, right around the 42. It'll be a gain of 5, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. He was out there waving his arms. When you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off for the first down.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
But this was just simply excellent defense. This 3rd down, there had to be a little possibility of a pass. But that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And instead of tying it up, they'll remain down by 3. So a long drive, 11 plays all told. But in the end, they come away with nothing.
And what can you do from an offensive standpoint except pat your kicker on the head and say, get them next time?
Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more...
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Kareem Jackson. And the Broncos will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and you can't do it all on one throw.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. Tackle made by Grover Stewart. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Wilson. That's complete to the tight end, Saubert. Only able to gain a couple there, and now it's 3rd and 4. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.